All right, I have Robbie, Jojo, Graham, Emily, Adve, and Zoe. I think that should be everyone. So let's get started. A disorder of this process is caused by the loss of hypocretin-secreting neurons. That disorder of this process is associated with a sudden loss of muscle tone called cataplexy. During different stages of this process, K-complexes, delta waves, and theta waves are... yes, Adve?
Sleeping?
Yes, that is correct. With any buzzed at electroencephalo just before I was about to say that, so that is power. Your bonuses. A 4-minute dance named for these animals was choreographed by Michelle Folkine to a movement from the Carnival of the Animals. For 10 points each A, name these birds. Odette is transformed into this type of bird in a Tchaikovsky ballet.
Swan direct?
Correct. This early Russian ballerina is believed to have performed Michel Folkine's The Dying Swan over 4,000 times. She was a member of Sergei Diaghilev's Ballet Russes.
Pavlova direct?
Yes, Pavlova created a specialized toe to assist her in performing this technique in which ballet dancers stand only on the tips of the toes.
Point direct?
Yes. As a joke to a common phrase of his, a player of this game has 2 memberships called My Mans and My Mans Plus on his Patreon. Sean Hodgkins is the real name of that man who uploads challenges to this video game on his channel Forge Labs. Proof I don't autoclick was the most viewed video of a player. Jojo?
Minecraft?
Correct. This character is snubbed by a group of aristocrats at Count C's party, causing him to leave. For 10 points each A, name this character whose sorrows are recounted in a 1774 epistolary novel. This Austrian-loving character commits suicide over his love for Lade at the end of that novel with Albert's borrowed pistols.
For Zoe?
Young Werther.
Correct. The Sorrows of Young Werther is a novel by this German author who wrote about a scholar attempting to rescue Gretchen after making a deal with Mephistopheles in Faust.
Goethe direct?
Correct. The Sorrows of a Young Werther is a prime example of this coming-of-age genre, which Goethe often wrote in. Its name roughly translates to novel of education in German.
Defer to Emily?
Bildungsroman?
Correct. 430. An institution at this location was established via a 1792 treaty apocryphally signed under a buttonwood tree. Supporters of Luigi Galliani are commonly blamed for a 1920 bombing at this location. A black version of this location was destroyed during the Tulsa race riot. A photo of a ballerina. I have Zoe.
Wall Street?
Nice.
Correct. And statue of ballerina, right? So 15. This man became the 3rd House member in 2023 to be censured following an incident in which he triggered a fire alarm while Congress was in session. For 10 points each A, name this African-American Democratic New York representative who was ousted by the more moderate George Latimer in the most expensive House primary race.
Hakeem Jeffries?
Incorrect, Jamal Bowman. Jamal Bowman belonged to this group of 9 progressive members of the House, whose other members include Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York and Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts.
The Squad?
Correct.
Direct?
2 members of the Squad, Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, are the first 2 members of Congress to practice this religion.
Islam direct?
Correct. 420. Lyme disease was named for this state's coastal city of Lyme. This state's highest point is on the southern slopes of Mount Frizzle. Nutmeggers. Robbie?
Connecticut.
Correct for power.
No.
The Northwest Ordinance of 1787 was passed under this document. For 10 points each A, name this weak governing document which was replaced by the United States Constitution in 1789.
Articles of Confederation.
Correct. The weakness of the federal government under the Articles of Confederation was exposed during the 1786 to 1787 rebellion in Massachusetts, in which former American Revolution veterans marched on the Springfield Armory.
Which stays with rebellion.
Can you repeat that?
Phrase direct.
Correct. This founding father chaired the committee which drafted the Articles of Confederation. This penman of the Revolution was also the lead writer of the Olive Branch Petition.
No.
Answer, please.
Hancock.
Incorrect. John Dickinson. So,
Okay.
20? Jean Anouilh adopted a play by this man that was seen as an attack on the Vichy government. In that play by this man, a group of guards pour wine on the ground after the end of a dust storm. A character created by this man, Emily?
Sophocles?
Correct. These structures are filled in an order related to Aufbau's principle. For 10 points each A. Name these structures which come in S, P, D, and F types. They are regions in an atom where electrons are most likely to be found.
Orbitals direct.
Correct. Linus Pauling proposed this process in which orbitals mix to form bonds. Orbitals denoted sp2 and sp3 have undergone this process.
Hybridization direct.
Correct. sp3 hybridized carbons have this geometry, which is also possessed by methane and ammonia.
Tetrahedral direct.
Correct. 30 on the
And-
bonus.
Toss up power.
That was in power.
Thank you.
Of course. The base width gain of one type of these devices changes to reduction width in the early effect. An insulating metal oxide layer may be found in a type of these devices whose three nodes are the source, gate, and drain. The bipolar junction type of these devices are contrasted with their field effect type, which includes MOSFETs. By Moore's law, the number of these devices... Jojo?
Diodes?
Incorrect. Neg 5. By Moore's law, the number of these devices in a microchip doubles about every 2 years. Vacuum tubes were replaced by these devices, billions of which can be found in each computer chip. For 10 points, name these circuit components that can be used to amplify or switch electronic signals. Robbie?
Wait a minute. Transistors.
Correct.
Thank you.
Of course.
I don't know anything.
I was gonna say semiconductor.
I don't know
Answer
anything.
these questions about literary nonsense. For 10 points each A. This Victorian-era poet invented the nonsense word runcible to describe a spoon used to dine in his 1871 poem Owl and the Pussycat.
Oh, oh, I should know this. Is just tennis?
5.
No. Oh, like Lear? Lear.
Correct. This form of poetry was popularized in Lear's Book of Nonsense. This form contains an AABBA rhyme scheme.
Limerick.
Correct. Nonsensical words like shortle and galumphing were introduced by this man in his poem Jabberwocky. This English writer wrote Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
Carol.
Correct. In fact, he names a method of computing determinants. Before this battle, one side was sighted approaching via the Malian Gulf. One side of this battle was busy celebrating the Festival of Canaries. This battle occurred simultaneously with the naval battle of Artemisium. In order to surrender their weapons, the losing side of this battle responded with Molon Labe. A local resident from Chakis named Ephialtes revealed a narrow mountain pass to the enemy in this battle. During this... Emily?
Thermopylae?
Can you please repeat that?
Thermopylae?
Correct. Answer the following about ways in which Einstein's theory of general relativity was proven. For 10 points each A. Einstein himself supported the theory by demonstrating the precession or gradual change of the axis of rotation of this closest planet to the Sun.
Mercury direct.
Correct. B. LIGO detected these ripples in space-time that were predicted by general relativity. The 1993 Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to Hulse and Taylor for the first indirect evidence for the existence of these things.
For Jojo.
Gravitational waves.
Correct. In an experiment which first made Einstein famous, this scientist observed the bending of starlight around the sun during a solar eclipse, validating the theory's prediction of gravitational lensing. This scientist names an upper limit on luminosity achievable by a body in hydrostatic equilibrium. Answer, please.
Defer to Jojo.
Chandrasekhar.
Incorrect. It's Arthur Eddington. 20 on the bonus. In The Ethics of Ambiguity, Simone de Beauvoir believed how it was necessary to expose the mystification of a misled 16-year-old member of this group. One book explains how a member of this group followed Kant's categorical imperative to carry out his work and begins with that character in a glass cage. One philosopher's concept of the Übermensch was adopted by this group. Hannah Arendt wrote of the banality of evil. Zoe,
Nazis?
can you please repeat that? You cut out.
Nazis?
Correct. A metal corset in a painting by this artist may refer to her battle with polio. For 10 points each, A. Name this Mexican artist who painted from her sickbed for much of her life. Many self-portraits depict her trademark unibrow.
Kahlo. Direct.
Correct. Yes. This 1944 self-portrait by Kahlo is a lament to a bus accident she suffered at the age of 18. It depicts the title object as her spine.
Zoe.
The broken column?
Correct. Kahlo reflects on her miscarriage in a bloody work depicting herself in a hospital named for this industrialist. This man's factories are depicted in a series of industry manuals of Kahlo's husband, Diego Rivera.
Ford. Direct.
Correct. 30 on the bonus. A painting by this artist inspired Gerald Holtum's design of the modern peace symbol. This artist pioneered aquatint in a series of 82 abject... Graham?
Picasso?
Incorrect, neg 5. In a series of 82 abject prints depicting the Peninsular War. This artist's late paintings were painted directly onto the walls of the Quinta del Sordo. A white-clad man desperately throws up his hands in a painting by this artist depicting a Napoleonic firing squad firing on defenseless civilians, while another depicts an ungainly titan committing filicide via cannibalism. For 10 points, what Spaniard painted the 3rd of May, 1808, and Saturn devouring... Emily?
Goya?
Correct. During one expedition, this explorer married into the royal family of the Maldives and converted their kingdom to Islam. For 10 points each, A. Name this Moroccan-born explorer who traveled over 10 times farther than Marco Polo. He recounted his travels in the book Rila.
Ibn Battuta. Direct.
Correct. Along with many explorers before and after him, Ibn Battuta made use of this vast network of land and sea routes which linked Asia, Europe, and Africa known by this name.
Silk Road. Direct.
Correct. During his visit to the island of Kilwa, Ibn Battuta described a great one of these buildings that was made from coral. The Mali Empire constructed one of these buildings made of mud brick, named Jingureber. Answer, please.
University.
Incorrect. These are mosques. 20 on the bonus. Toss up 10, after which, after the cycle, we will have a halftime. In one play, a character with this profession poisons... Emily?
Football player.
Incorrect, neg 5. In one play, a character with this profession poisons an entire group of nuns with rice porridge. In that play, a character of this profession dies in a boiling cauldron intended for Calumath. This profession is held by Barabbas in a play by Christopher Marlowe. While disguised as a lawyer, Portia demands for one character to show mercy to a character in this profession, whose ships are lost at sea. In that play, a character in this profession is sued by Shylock, who demands a pound of flesh from him. For 10 points, name this profession that in a play by William Shakespeare is held by Antonio in Venice. See, Robbie?
Merchant.
Teacher.
Good job.
I thought normally you'd think that was an accidental buzz, but with you guys, I honestly can't tell.
Just accidental.
Oh, I'm sorry. According to Ovid's Metamorphoses, this flower was created following the rejection of the nymph Echo by its namesake Hunter. For 10 points each, A. Name this flower that grows along the bank of the Styx. Its creation fulfilled a prophecy about the son of Cephisus and Liriope.
What's it called? No answer.
Narcissus flower, except daffodil, except jonquil. Narcissus turned into his namesake flower after he fell in love with his own reflection in a spring of water and died in this manner.
He drowned.
Teacher.
Correct. Narcissus was a hunter from Boeotia, home to this city, legendarily founded by Cadmus after following a cow. Correct. So that's 20 on the bonus. And now we have a score check. Early College at Guildford at 260 and Simanes at 100. Any objections?
Nope.
We're good, thank you.
What? Do you guys want to check the score? Early College at Guildford?
No, we're good. We have the same score.
Okay,
Thank you.
of course. This author began one poem by stating that nature is a temple where living pillars sometimes let out confused lyrics. In another poem, this author of correspondences wrote about an awkward and weak creature who pitifully let go their great white wings like oars dragging alongside them. Zoe,
Baudelaire.
correct for 15. In the case of David Reimer is discussed in a book describing how this concept is performed without an individual being conscious of it. For 10 points each, A. Name this concept which one author claimed is constructed to repetitive performance of actions, behaviors, and roles.
Habits direct.
Incorrect. That's gender. This thinker and UC Berkeley professor wrote about gender performativity in works like Undoing Gender and Gender Trouble.
Butler direct.
Correct. Judith Butler's Gender Trouble is subtitled for this movement and the subversion of identity. Butler's work has influenced the third wave of this broad ideology which advocates for women's rights.
Feminism direct.
Correct. 20 on the bonus. The mineral iron wustite is an example of the redox type of these substances. Tricine and bicine were included in a list of 20 of these substances by Norman Good, which judged their biochemical inertness and optical absorbance. These substances only function in a window size known as their namesake capacity. Carbonic acid and bicarbonate ions form one of these substances in the blood. The Henderson-Hasselbalch... Jojo?
Buffer.
Correct. Or 10. For 10 points each, answer the question about ancient rulers who named cylinders. What is believed to be the world's first declaration of human rights is inscribed on this ruler's namesake cylinder. This great ruler of the Persian Empire freed the Jews from the Babylonian captivity.
What is it?
Answer, please.
Nebuchadnezzar direct.
Incorrect. Cyrus.
He was first.
Queen Puabi of this civilization's city of Ur was identified by several cylinder seals in her tomb, which was excavated by Leonard Woolley. This civilization developed the Epic of Gilgamesh during the Uruk period.
Yeah. Mesopotamia direct.
No, sorry, that's incorrect. Mesopotamia is a region. This is the Sumerian Empire.
No.
A cylinder discovered in Borsippa named for the Seleucid king Antiochus I Soter was written in the traditional form of this language. The Epic of Gilgamesh was written in this language.
Cuneiform direct.
Incorrect. Akkadian. Cuneiform is a script. It wasn't a language in and of itself, to my knowledge.
What was that?
One of these animals... nothing, just like cuneiform's a script. One of these animals, owned by Odin named Hydrun, eats the foliage of the Lyradar tree and produces mead. Loki tied his testicles to one of these animals to abuse Skadi. The elf became a servant of Thor after he sucked the marrow out of the leg bone. Emily?
Goat.
Correct. This man's trio in A minor was the basis for a sinfonia often played by youth orchestras. For 10 points each, A, name this Baroque German composer who was the godfather of C.P.E. Bach. His collection Tafelmusik was intended to be played accompanying meals. Answer?
Haydn direct.
Incorrect. Haydn was Austrian. This is Telemann. The overture that begins the first section of Telemann's Tafelmusik is in this key. This minor key has one sharp in its key signature, and its relative major is G major.
E minor.
Please. Correct. Telemann wrote the earliest known concerto for this stringed instrument that is pitched between violin and cello. Answer, please.
No answer.
Viola.
Huh?
Let's 10 on the bonus. 14. A building of this type designed by William Van Allen was photographed by Margaret Burke White while she was perched on its eagle-shaped gargoyles. A building of this type with a creamy terracotta exterior designed by Cass Gilbert was dubbed the Cathedral of Commerce for its Gothic design. A vestigial red brick exterior appears on a building of this type designed by Denmark Adler and Louis Sullivan. Early examples of these buildings include Emily?
Skyscrapers?
Correct.
Yeah.
This character takes up a job at the Logo Hotel after Wick Cutter attempts to rape her. For 10 points each, A. Name this member of the Shimerda family and friend of Jim Burden. This character eventually has a happy marriage after moving back to Black Hawk, Nebraska.
For Emily.
Antonia?
Correct. This Nebraska author wrote about that Bohemian immigrant in My Antonia, which she composed in a trilogy with O Pioneers and the Song of the Lark.
Cather, direct.
Correct. That aforementioned trilogy by Cather is named for this general region of the United States. Laura Ingalls Wilder wrote a series of books about a little house set on this grassland region.
Prairie, direct.
Correct. 30. The British Cape Colony's attempt to take these objects from the Basuto people ignited a namesake war in 1880. The inhabitants of the Chatham Islands were decimated during a conflict named for these things that led to the Moriori genocide. These objects name a series of intertribal wars among the Maori. Graham?
Muskets.
Correct. Pin proteins carry out the polar transport of these compounds. For 10 points each, A. Indole 3-acetic acid is the best known example of what class of plant hormones, which can promote cell elongation by activating proton pumps.
Loki, you're gonna be so disappointed in me. I don't remember.
On.
Science. No answer.
Answer, please.
No answer.
Auxins. Auxins are responsible for the suppression of ethylene production, which inhabits the lateral type of this general process. Plants generally do this in the direction of sunlight.
Growing.
Correct. In a competition with cytokinins, auxins promote this phenomena, where the central bud of a plant inhibits the growth of lateral buds, directing the plant's energy towards vertical growth.
What?
I don't know.
Answer, please.
No answer.
Flower.
Apical dominance.
Okay.
So that is 10 on the bonus. Holders of this title staked their claim to a jewel known as the Orphan Stone. Holders of this title could grant the privilege of not appealing, which would limit the right to appeal to the Owlet Council. The Ghibellines backed holders of this title. The Golden Bull of 1356. Robbie?
Like Pope?
Incorrect, Neg 5.
Yeah.
The Golden Bull of 1356 named 7 prince-electors who had raised people to this position, including the Margrave of Brandenburg and the King of Bohemia. Historians dispute the first holder of this position between Otto the Great and a king who was crowned by Pope Leo III in 800. For 10 points, Charlemagne is said to have been the first holder of what imperial title? Adve?
Holy Roman Emperor.
Correct. The mother of football star Lamine Yamal hails from this country city of Bata. For 10 points each, A, name this African country whose Rio Muni mainland is home to Bata. It also administered Anoban Island and Bioko Island, where its capital of Malabo lies.
Equatorial Guinea.
Correct. The island of Equatorial Guinea belongs in a line of volcanic islands named for this country. Douala and Yaoundé are cities in this West African country.
Cameroon.
Answer, please. Correct. Equatorial Guinea was one of the only African countries to be colonized by this country. The exclaves of Ceuta and Melilla are still controlled by this Iberian nation in Morocco across the Strait of Gibraltar.
Spain, direct.
Correct. 30 on the bonus. A work in this genre begins with the melody E, 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 F, E, C. E, before suddenly jumping to a rapid allegro con brio section. Another piece in this genre is nicknamed for the rapidly resolved minor seconds in its first section, in addition to one named Winter Wind, a jubilant G-flat, Zoe?
An etude.
Correct. Power. Answer the following about everyday inventions that were pioneered by African Americans. For 10 points each A, Garrett Morgan is credited with inventing the two-way form of these signaling devices, whose 3 red, yellow, and green colors often control the flow of vehicles at intersections.
Traffic light direct.
Correct. Along with her husband, Marie van Britten Brown received the first patent for an invention which provides this service. ADT and Vivint are companies which provide this service.
Home security.
Correct. Albert T. Marshall patented the first mechanical examples of these devices, which are made up of a compressor, condenser, evaporator, and expansion device.
Air conditioner direct.
Incorrect. Refrigerators.
Sorry.
It's okay. The first Lemoyne circle is the circumcircle of one of these shapes. Pascal's theorem describes the intersection of this shape's sides when inscribed in a conic section. 3 root 3 over 2 times side length squared gives the area. Jojo?
Triangle.
Incorrect. Neg 5. Gives the area for a regular one of these shapes. This shape is the least sided polygon that does not form the faces of a platonic solid, only squares, triangles, and these shapes tessellate the plane. Placing 2 isosceles trapezoids along their longest side will create these shapes. These shapes contain internal angles of 120 degrees each, with sum to 720 degrees. For 10 points, name this polygon with 6 sides.
Hexagon.
Graham?
Hexagon.
Correct. Valentine Michael Smith appears in a novel by this man, which won him the 1962 Hugo Award. For 10 points each A, name the science fiction author of Stranger in a Strange Land. He wrote about the Filipino Johnny Rico in Starship Troopers.
Yeah, find one.
Correct. Robert Heinlein's short story, All You Zombies, explores the paradoxes behind this concept. In that story, a bartender uses a machine for this action to go from the year 1945 to 1963.
Time travel.
Correct. A revolt of people from this location is the subject of a Heinlein novel whose title says that this place is a harsh mistress. In a novel by Jules Verne, the Baltimore Gun Club attempts to reach this location.
Center of the Earth.
Yeah, I guess.
Center of the Earth direct.
Where's like the
Incorrect. It's the moon.
moon?
Oh. All right.
I thought of it too
Yeah,
late.
you know. 19. A character in this novel is obsessed with figuring out ways to try to win the Sunday parades. Another character in this novel constantly tries to take nude photographs while pretending to work for Life magazine. In this novel, Emily?
Catch-22?
Correct. Professor Henry Kirsten names one of these facilities at the University of Washington. For 10 points each A, name these facilities used to test the aerodynamics of objects like cars or aircraft by simulating airflow around them.
Wind tunnel direct.
Yes. A coefficient named for this quantity is often calculated using wind tunnels.
And
A pressure gradient is required for the production of this force.
Lift direct.
Correct. Wind tunnels measure how the lift coefficient interacts with this other quantity about the critical angle of which stalling occurs. This is the angle between the chord line of an airfoil, such as on a wing, and the oncoming airflow.
Drag angle direct.
Incorrect. This is the angle of attack. 20. A man in this land dreams of 3 baskets on his head being filled with baked goods which are stolen by birds, meaning he will be executed in 3 days. That man, the chief baker, was imprisoned in this land along with the chief butler and a man who was falsely accused of assaulting Potiphar's wife. While in this land, Benjamin has a silver cup placed in his sack as a part of a plan to test honesty. After receiving a coat of many colors, one man was sold into slavery.
Egypt?
Correct. This city's namesake roses were artillery craters that were later filled with red resin, for 10 points each A. Name its European capital city that was the site of a ruthless siege from 1992 to 1996.
Sarajevo, direct.
Correct. The siege of Sarajevo occurred during the breakup of this Balkan country comprised of 6 republics, one led by Joseph Broz Tito.
Yugoslavia, direct.
Correct. Ethnic Serbs in Bosnia established this autonomous entity, which was recognized in the Dayton Accords. Confusingly, a republic with this name also makes up the modern country of Bosnia, along with the Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Kosovo, direct.
Incorrect. It's Srpska. And with that last toss-up, we have a final score of 505 Early College at Guildford to 150 Simanes. Are there any objections?
No objections. Thank you for reading.
How bad I am.
Of course.
All right, good game.
Good.
You guys aren't bad. Have a good day.